It's Hollie's Hotspurs, welcome back. Talking Tottenham every week, no better place to be sat. If it's a win, lose, draw, we'll be here for a chat. Best believe we tackle topics like Romero at the back. Heung-min Son, what can go wrong when he's on form? It's a dream come.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Hollie's Hotspurs Live, where tonight we sadly have to dissect that 3-2 loss in the North London derby against Arsenal. But hey, these games, I see it as a good talking therapy session. And with me to do so, I am joined by three fabulous guests. So first of all, I'm joined by Patrick. Patrick, how are you, my friend?
Yeah, well, on a personal level, I'm okay. Obviously, on a footballing standpoint, I've been better, had better days, and I've had quieter days online in terms of my notifications going mental with Arsenal fans. But here we are, happy to be here, Hollie, with you, obviously Billy and Graham. So hopefully it's a decent show, and then we can all clear off and forget about this game and look forward to Thursday.
100%. Amazing stuff. And we're also joined by the amazing Graham Roberts. Again, it's awesome to have you back on the channel. I'm sorry it's obviously dissecting this loss, but how are you?
I'm good, thank you, Hollie. Got a bit of a cold, but I'm all right. Yeah, listen, Patrick needs a good night out. Come on, we'll take him out.
Let's do this. But no, it's amazing to have you on, Graham, and amazing as well to have Billy back with us. How are you, Billy?
Terrible, to be honest. Absolutely terrible. And like people, I've seen people online worried about going into work today. But I work with kids, man, and kids are brutal. So this morning was awful. Like getting beaten up by 10-year-olds, like bantered off by 10-year-olds. There's nothing more soul destroying than getting the piss taken out of you by a 10-year-old kid. So yeah, awful day. I'm home now. I never want to think about it ever again.
Can I ask, are you a school teacher?
I'm a school teacher, yeah.
Give him writing and all that. That's what you got to do.
Yeah.
I
I work in North London though, so loads of Arsenal. I never teach any Tottenham fans, always Arsenal fans. Arsenal, Chelsea, always.
Yeah, you'd say to him, you're in. You got to stay behind afterwards for 2 hours if you don't say you love Tottenham. That's what you got to do.
Exactly. I try. Trust me, I try.
Done.
Love that. But no, it's going to be an interesting one tonight to obviously dissect everything. Before we do, though, I just want to say that I have partnered up with Alloy Collectors, which is where you can get your cool little metal football shirts. I'll be sticking Romero on the back of this one after Sunday because I think he's the one that wore that shirt with the most amount of pride. So make sure you go check them out. Go check out the code in the description of this video to go get yourself one. But with all that good stuff, let's get on with obviously dissecting that game. I kind of want to go around and kind of get everyone's overall opinions before we dissect it even more detail. So Patrick, I'll come to you first. What was your kind of overall thoughts and takeaways from that defeat?
It's such a weird one, Hollie, because I don't know. I'm in two minds. I didn't think we played badly. I thought we were the better team. But then when you ship 3 goals in the first half and 2 of them were from the same glaring mistakes and errors that we keep conceding in every game, obviously corners, zonal marking, I'm like, how stupid can we be to concede the first goal like that? Then obviously Saka hit us on the break. Referee, they were shambles and VAR was a shambles as well. But then we concede another one like that. So it's our own naivety that cost us. But I didn't think we had a bad game. And other than the goals, I thought we actually controlled the game. We were quite comfortable. But then I'm also thinking, was that Arsenal just allowing us to do what we did and then just hitting us every time? So I'm in two minds about it. Disappointed, of course. Obviously gutted we lost the game. Yeah, I don't know, man. It hurts. I always hate losing a North London derby. I live in Tottenham, for the people that don't know. So I'm surrounded by Arsenal fans and it stinks, like going to work today and hearing all this shit. And yeah, they beat us. And it's annoying because obviously this is the last. I mean, I don't recall the last time we've lost 2 on the spin at home to Arsenal. So things are quite bad at the moment. We lost last year and got battered. This year, it's not a battering, but it's still a loss. And we were 3-0 down. I mean, we did okay to come back into the game, but 3-0 at half time, that's crazy. That's criminal. That everyone should really be hanging their heads in shame after such a diabolical first half. And some people may think I'm overreacting, but you should never be 3-0 down in a North London derby, like at any stage of the game. So that's kind of my takeaways at the moment.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. It was just a very, very frustrating game, wasn't it, Graham? I mean, what was your kind of takeaways once the final whistle went?
I think we started off well, but we cause our own problems. We're playing out at the back. Romero gives Van der Ven a ball where the only place he can run is towards the corner flag. He tries to play it upfield. It gets cut out. They play a 1-2. I think it was Odegaard went to have a shot and Romero blocked it. they score from the corner. You know, I spoke to you just a minute ago, Hollie. I went to Newcastle. Newcastle could have scored 6 goals from corners in the first half. I don't know what it is. Have we got a coach who's working on the defence? You know, when I played with Paul Miller and people like that, we were the 2 people that had to go and attack that ball. We wasn't like the way we set up now is Højbjerg near post, Romero, Van der Ven, Ben Davies next to him, and then at the back you're looking at it and you've got Sonny, Werner, and Madison picking up the 3 big lads. What's that all about? You know, come on. Like, in Scotland, you could probably get away with that, Ange, but you can't get away with it in the Premier League. It's the best league in the world. Just man mark. Go man for man. That's your man. And you say, you ain't scoring. You ain't scoring. And then you can work it from there. But to have our 3 best headers of the ball in front of their back, like they had about 7 or 8 of them at the back, any one of them could have scored. And it's disappointing. But like Patrick said, you can't give the goals away we're giving away. You know, every game, I can't remember. I'm trying to think when we had a clean sheet. You know, you can't do it. You've got to defend properly. Hopefully you do it. You know, we got to give him another year. I think he's good. I met him last week. He's a lovely man. He's got the club at heart. People are letting him down at the moment. Madison, Bissouma didn't play well last week at Newcastle or 2 weeks ago at Newcastle. They're letting him down. So they've got to get there. They've got to get back. And, you know, anyway, I don't think we'll get Champions League because I want Man City to beat us. So I don't want them Gooners winning anything. So
no, that's fair enough. I think that's kind of obviously after this defeat and looking ahead, you're almost like they can't win the league. But
they're not going to win the league. They're not going to win.
Fingers crossed. Hopefully they bottle it again like they did last year. But Billy, coming to you, obviously there was a lot of schoolboy errors that Graham's alluded to. We'll get onto them a little bit later. But for you, what was your kind of takeaway from the game?
Full disclosure, I left at half time, so I haven't seen any of the second half, to be honest, and I don't really intend to watch it either. I just remember I was on the train in Harrow. I looked at my phone. We just scored the second goal. I was like, oh, maybe we'll come back, and I was sort of watching it through like flash score on my phone, which is not a great way to watch North London derby. But yeah, man, I was depressed because it's been a big debate this week. Like I probably. Whether you hate Arsenal as much as you love Tottenham or whatever, there's people giving all these different scenarios about Man City in the league and that. I definitely hate Arsenal just as much as I hate Tottenham. I love Tottenham, so yeah, this is an awful game for me to lose, and I left. I couldn't bear it, man. I could not bear it. Sorry, 3-0 down. Everyone's had a drink. It's one of them, isn't it?
Yeah,
I think that's the thing. Yeah, I think it just gets to the point where it's like, can't deal with this, because it was 3-0 down for me, and I was like, the way and the manner that we did it, Patrick, because obviously I know Graham's touched on it, but I'm gonna talk about these corners because they are driving me nuts week in, week out. I mean, it's inexcusable to concede 2 corners in any game, but especially the North London derby.
It's crazy, it's criminal, suicidal. We're shooting ourselves in the foot. Like Graham says, I think the last time we kept a clean sheet that I remember was December the 15th, Nottingham Forest away. And I think we've kept one more clean sheet since then. I can't recall what game it was.
Villa, I think. Yeah.
Villa, of course. Yeah, Villa, 4-0. So 2 away games. We've not kept a clean sheet at home since God knows when. So you're always having to score at least 1 goal to get yourself in the game, let alone 2 to win it. And if you look at the better teams in the league, your Arsenals, I hate to say it, Cities, Liverpool a bit at the moment, but these guys keep clean sheets. Even Everton, I was looking at their results the other day. I mean, they
got best.
Yeah, they keep a lot of clean sheets. And you can't tell me, man for man, we haven't got a better goalkeeper and better defenders than them. So how come they can do it and we can't? And it's coaching, tactics, basics, this zonal marking crap where we're marking spaces and areas, like Graham said, instead of marking men. And Arsenal was so smart. If you notice, every corner, they had about 6 or 7 players go behind the goal. And then as the ball's about to come live, they're scrambling and we're all over the place. And they've got 3 or 4 people who have got clean headers on goal. Graham said the same thing I alluded to, and I said it on podcast against Newcastle. If they had actually any decent headers of the ball, they could have scored 6 or 7. Fabian Schär scored the 4th goal by header, but they had so many chances, clean-cut header chances on goal, and something needs to give. If we can see it, you can see it, I can see it. Why isn't the coaching department pulling them up? Why aren't the players taking control and sorting it out? I just don't get it. And we're just giving ourselves a mountain to climb in every game. 3-0 down. I don't recall the last time I've been in a derby and been 3-0 down. Maybe, I don't know, I'm a bit shell-shocked and, you know, people will be able to tell me in the comments or whichever, but I don't ever recall being 3-0 down in a derby like that. And it was weird because it's not like they came out and they battered us. They didn't. We just gifted them goals, soft goals. Every goal was soft. Even Saka, Ben Davis, you probably get into it. You know, you don't show him on his left-hand side. You know he's going to cut in. He made it so easy for Saka to cut in, one-on-one. Chance, you know, it was a well taken shot, but Vicario as well didn't really cover himself in glory. He gave him all the space in the world to put it in, and Saka did that. So I think every goal we conceded was soft. Defensively, we need to step up. We can never be a good team if we're going to be so poor defensively.
I think that's the thing as well. Go on, Graham.
Let me try to explain as a defender. Ben Davis has got to show him down the outside.
Yeah.
So Van der Ven, if he comes inside, as soon as he comes inside, Van der Ven's got to whack him. He's got to hit him. Got to block the shot. But Van der Ven's 8 yards away. So the only reason Ben Davies has got is get down the outside. You've got to put him on his weak side. But Ben, he got muddled up and whatever. He cut inside. As soon as he cut inside, there was nobody there to block him. He can just do what he likes. That's what we haven't got. We haven't got people talking to each other. Van der Ven should have been screaming, get him outside, get him outside. But there isn't none of that anymore. You know, it's sort of just play the game and nobody helps each other. Nobody talks to each other. There's no leaders, you know, and yeah, people can roll their arms and all that. You know, you've got to have at least 6, 7 captains on the pitch. Not 1, 6 or 7. People telling each other what to do. And I just look at our back line and I think Romero, I thought he was brilliant yesterday. Kulichevsky, I thought played really well. But, you know, you can't play a derby with 2 players. You've got to have 11 players. I said before the game, we have a chance if 11 of us turn up. We have a good chance. We're a better footballing side than them. And we proved it yesterday. But you have a look, we're playing in front of them. We got James Maddison, who was absolutely brilliant beginning of the season, playing forward passes. What's he doing now? He's playing side passes. I thought he was Harry Winks back. You know, it's side. You know, James Maddison is an England international player. We bought him to create problems for them. I think the manager got his tactics wrong, putting Sonny centre forward. Sonny's not a centre forward. He can't play with his back towards goal. He can't do it. He's not strong enough. Get him on that left wing. Get him cutting in behind defenders. If you have a look, go back through the records and see how many goals Sonny has scored against Arsenal and how many times he's cut inside the fullback and bent it in the top corner. Why do we do things like this? We crucify ourselves. I'm not, you know, I'm an Ange man. I'm a Tottenham fan. I was like half time yesterday. I could not believe we were 3-0 down. We should have had a penalty. We should have had the goal disallowed, should have been counted because the lad did try to block it. You know, but that is it. We you know, they got a bit of pride back in the second half, but it was too late. It was too late and, you know, it had gone. But we've got to pick ourselves up now. And we've got to pick ourselves up and make sure Man City win the league.
We do. I know I'm laughing, but we do because I cannot stand them not winning the league. But kind of bringing it back, Billy, because obviously I know we've touched on this corner and this element, but the biggest thing for me and the biggest thing that still is sticking in my head, before this game, Arsenal scored 16 corners.
Yeah.
Now, to me, if that's not screaming, right, these 2 weeks that we've got off, we need to sort our corners because it's clearly a problem. We're now playing the best team in the league to score from corners. How is that not computed in the team?
Yeah, it's frustrating, and it's not a relatively new problem as well. It's been happening for a good 2 or 3 months now.
All season.
Yeah, it's been happening for a long time. Newcastle was the same. This game is the same. You know, I remember Everton a few months back was the same. Like,
West Ham.
And the frustrating thing for me was the corner delivery from Saka was not even that good.
No.
He didn't really hit it as well as he wanted to, and we somehow we managed to concede from it. And then the Rice one from Havertz is just typical what we've been seeing all season. Someone beating to us in a box. I think someone made a really good point on Twitter. Is that this is where we really miss Harry Kane because he used to win so many of those headers.
Yeah.
Harry Kane was our best header of the ball by a long way. And Van de Ven is a really tall defender, but his like aerial duels are really poor. He doesn't have very good stats when aerial duels, and none of our defenders really do. None of our players really do. I think it's only Richarlison who's decent in the air from our players, and it has to be addressed. We've got no one who can head the ball away like we used to have when we had Harry Kane.
Yeah, agree.
That is a big worry, even because I know we're talking about defensive corners right now, but Patrick, even when we have corners ourselves, there's no threat. And the only threat we kind of have is from Romero, where he obviously hit the post from the James Maddison cross and again scoring that goal for us. Is that a concern for Spurs, the fact that our centre-back is the one scoring the goals at the minute?
It's not a concern if there's ever other decent aerial players like Billy and Graham said. If you've got Richarlison as your number 9, because Sonny is not good in the air, he's not good with his back to the goal, and he's not that strong. Like yesterday, he kept getting muscled out of the ball, off the ball, and you're like, come on, Sonny, it's a derby, pick it up a bit. We love Sonny, he's a fantastic player, but we're not playing to his strengths and his weaknesses. So you're not getting the best version of Son. Therefore, you're not getting the best version of Tottenham. And we don't have a number 9 who's going to attack the corners and attack the goal. You know, like when you look at across the league, you've got Tarkowski at Everton, you've got beasts like Gabriel, unfortunately, at Arsenal. Every team has aerial threats. Guardiola at Man City. We don't really have one of those apart from Romero. You would like to think Mickey van der Ven, hopefully, as he evolves and gets a bit, wiser and stuff, he can become one of those guys. So, yeah, we've got no aerial threats. No number 9, so no target man or no linchpin to bring players. And so we're a team that obviously likes to go down, the flanks and cross the ball essentially, but there's no one to actually get on the end of these crosses. So that definitely needs to be addressed in the summer. We need a number 9. We need Sonny back on the left. Obviously, whoever wants to be on the right can be on it. I thought Kulusevski was fantastic yesterday. He was really unfortunate not to have a bit more of an impact on the game in terms of like a goal or assist. Anyone that watched the game saw the impact he had, but obviously the bottom line is he didn't create any goal scoring moments in that sense. And yeah, I just hope, we all like Ange Postecoglou. We all want him to do well. There are some glaring holes in his first season. I just hope and pray that he addresses them in the summer. I hope and pray that Daniel Levy gives him the funds to allow him to address these issues, and then we can go again. Because there's definitely the imprint of a good team. There's definitely the foundation of a good team. But 2024, if we're being honest, has been a bit hit and miss. There's like we're 0 for 7. No, we scored 2 goals in the second half, but in the last 2 games we've shipped 7 goals.
I know.
That is insane. That's relegation form in the sense of your defending, your goalkeeping. And obviously I'm here, there and everywhere screaming how good Vicario, Romero and Van der Ven are, but they've let in 7 goals in the last 2 games. I can't defend that. No one can. So it's a bit mad. It's a bit mad if I'm being honest.
Who's we don't know, and I'm not going to have a go at coaches and all that, but whoever they are, surely whatever game you're playing, you can't lead 2 against 2 or 3. You can't do it. It's impossible. You're going to get caught. And we've got caught at Newcastle where Van der Ven fell over. He was 1 for 1. You can't do that. Football's about, if you keep a clean sheet, 90% of the game, you're going to win or you're going to get a point. We have to get 3-4 goals a game now. It's madness, absolutely madness. And Ange needs to sort it out. Maybe change it in the summer. You know, we've got Dragusin. Why did we buy him if we ain't going to play him? You know, that wasn't cheap. You know, it's we got to. I've watched videos of him. He's a tough boy, tough boy. Not sure about his ability wise, but he's a tough boy. He's played in Italy. You know, it's going to cause us problems if we don't get it sorted. Because, you know, you go into Anfield on Sunday. That ain't going to be easy. Got Chelsea, who turn up for one game a season on Thursday. You know, it's not going to be easy. You can't play leaving two people at the back. It's impossible. It's impossible.
It is rough. And I want to bring this up from Ian. And he's saying, so I'll pose this one to you, Graham. Do you think that some of the players may have lost their faith in the project, which may explain the drop in form in so many? Or do you just purely think we're in such a bad rut at the moment? It's just the way things are going.
I don't know if like Ian or anybody watches, like you go on the Spurs site and you can see them training. I've been there watching them training as well. And they do a lot of finishing. Well, first half yesterday, I think there was only 2 shots at goal. We get in positions and we don't shoot. So what's the use of doing shooting practice? That's that's how I work it. If you do shooting practice, take it into the game. I don't think people have lost the project. I think it's still there. I just think it needs tweaking. Ange did it in Scotland. He did very, very well. He's probably done it in Japan. He's done it very, very well. But you're not playing in Scotland and you're not playing in Japan. You're playing in the Premiership. You've got to have players like if a fullback goes forward, somebody fills in for him. We just go gung-ho and we go forward. One ball yesterday from Havertz kills us. He goes into Saka, he scores. Everybody knew as soon as he picked the ball up, we knew what was happening. Why can't the coaches and everybody see it? All it needs is a coach on the sideline to shout to Ben Davis, Ben, he's free, get back with him. Surely that's just soccer. That's just football. You know, I said soccer because he's Australian, but it's just common sense. You don't leave one-on-ones and things. It's just you're going to get slaughtered. And we were lucky. Nottingham Forest at home. Chris Woods. You know, if they don't start learning, then you can have the best project in the world. But if you don't keep clean sheets, you're not going to win anything.
No. And I think this is the most frustrating thing because, Billy, I think if you take out those 2 corners, we defend it properly, we take man for man, we clear them, it's a totally different game. Obviously, we had the incident with Mickey van der Ven and offside, as we all know. VAR isn't the best thing at the moment. But again, we could have been 1-1 at this point, and it would have been a totally different story.
Yeah, and not to mention a couple of penalty shots that I missed as well. It was probably a bit more of an even game than the 3-0 scoreline suggested. And like, I don't know about you guys, but I hate the experience of going to a football stadium now and watching when VAR is there. It's awful. Like, it's awful. As soon as that goal went in, I wasn't celebrating at 100%. And in North London derby, and that's depressing. Like, how can you not be like completely losing it at that moment? I had a feeling in the back of my head straight away that's going to get chalked off. It's happened to us so many times this season, and the fan experience is just waning and waning because of VAR. It's just, honestly, it's just so depressing. So yeah, I think on a different day it could have been a completely different game, but you know, we didn't get the rub of the green.
No, we didn't. And Billy, I'm going to stay with you because obviously we saw that Ange made some changes. And for me, I don't know if you're in the same boat, but I probably would have started Richarlison. I know we spoke a little bit of playing Sonny on the left, but for me, when we were putting balls into the box, there was no one to head the bloody thing. And you're thinking Richarlison would potentially be the perfect candidate for that, or do you think it was because he's just come back from injury? He didn't want to put him straight in.
I think so, yeah, because Son is in a pretty terrible run of form in the number 9 position. I know he's still chipping on the odd goal and assist, but he always does that by default anyway because he's, you know, one of the best finishers in the world. But we've really missed Richarlison. I think we've really missed that aerial presence. There's no one to hold the ball up there, and I just want to go back to seeing Son on the left, Richarlison on the right, and Kulusevski or Johnson. Son on the left, Richarlison in the middle, and Kulusevski or Johnson on the right, because that's when in our best form of the season, Richarlison is in the number 9 position, and I think we've really, really missed him during this injury.
Well, he's a nasty little player, isn't he?
Yes,
he reminds me of players when I played. People biting at your ankles, and look at the lad Gabriel. I think he plays for Brazil, doesn't he, Gabriel?
Mm-hmm.
But he ran into him yesterday, and like Gabriel tried to block him, and he just knocked him over, and. Once he knew who it was, he got up Gabriel. He didn't, because he knew he'd probably knock him out when he went to Brazil or somewhere. But that's the sort of player you need in a derby. All right, maybe it was his knee. He's had a bad knee, and he's coming his first game back. But we need to play him, because we need Sonny out on the left. We need Sonny on the left because he cuts inside and he causes lots and lots of problems.
No, definitely. And I think that's the thing. I think, and I know we've spoken a little bit about Ben White and the fact that there was a little bit of mischief in the box with Vicario. But sometimes, as much as I hate that, you need that bit of fire in North London derby. But nobody apart from Richie gave that from our side. And it's almost like...
No, you're wrong. They did.
Go on.
The last kick of the game, our goalkeeper went and stood on Raya. He was the only person in the whole game.
I must have missed it by
97 minutes. He went and stood on their goalkeeper. Vicario did.
And that's what I mean. It's taken 97 minutes for someone to do that.
It's mad. Absolutely mad.
It is crazy. And I think the thing is, for me, Patrick, coming to you, with the Spurs side at the moment, we've got glimmers of what these players were at the start of the season. But for me, I really don't know what's going on with Maddison, Patrick. I don't know what's going on. Do you think it's the injury? He's a bit wary. He doesn't want to play that brave ball through the lines anymore. He doesn't want to try and go through players. Like, what do you think it is?
I think it's a number of things. I think he was probably rushed back a bit sooner than we would have probably liked if we had strength in depth. He's the only player, obviously, in our squad that can do what he does. He is a brilliant player. He's fantastic on his day, but he kind of probably got rushed back a bit. Not confident enough in his body as well to really play at 100%. And then also, form is a weird thing. When you're flying and you're doing well, you're happy to pull off and try any trick. Like in the first North London derby, Maddison was on fire, and everything he did came off. He spun Saka, he was flicking the ball and doing all these amazing things. And now he's second guessing himself. He's second guessing every time there's a moment. Does he ping that pass? Does he hit it with the outside of his boot? All the things he would do naturally, he's having to think about it. And all these things play into it. And he had another poor game yesterday. You saw when he come off, he was kind of sulking and upset. Cool, we need that. But next game, we need to show it on the pitch. We need to see that effort and that desire and that commitment. And Graham touched on it earlier. Romero was the only guy that really led by example. All the shouting and the waving your arms and huffing and puffing when things are tough. Cool, again, that's okay. But show us on the pitch. Show us that desire. Show us that commitment. Romero pressing from the front, causing David Raya to make a bad pass, and then coolly slotting it away like a number 9. That finish was exceptional from a defender. Yeah. No one's gonna talk about it because we lost and we were 3-0 down and it makes it 3-1. But that was a brilliant finish. And then he's a guy that obviously railed at the troops, and that kind of gave us the fans something to hold on to, and it gave the players a bit of belief that maybe we could do it, maybe we could get something out of it. If it wasn't for Romero doing that, then obviously, and Romero had a brilliant game. He probably was our biggest threat. He was fantastic in the tackle, swept and cleaned up, and I thought he was fantastic yesterday. It's funny because they won't give a player man of the match to, well, they have done in the past, but typically the team that wins it gets man of the match. But he was the best player on the pitch. Yeah. I don't know how they gave Gabriel man of the match. I'm like, how did he have a better game than Romero? Like, really? Like, yeah. So it's a bit crazy to me, but I thought he was good. And if he continues that, again, very cool as well. Didn't get a yellow card, didn't do anything rash. I thought he's having quietly it sounds mad because we've let in a lot of goals, but you can definitely see the progression in him. And with a few tweaks, he can easily be the best centre-back in the league. Easily, him and Mickey van der Ven.
That's the thing. I think, like you put it, rightly there, Patrick, and coming to you, Graham, with Romero, we've seen him be such a hothead, and especially in the North London derby, that's probably the peak time he's going to do it. But he put all his energy into performing to the best he could, which is great to see.
Yeah, like when you're sort of vice captain or whatever, you have to. There's certain people lead by speaking on the pitch and using that. Like I was a person that played with my heart. I just went, right, you're getting 150% out of me today, especially against the Gooners, and that's how I was. And ask Charlie Nicholas, he knows how well I played in them games because he ended up in Row Z. So, but at the end of it, you have to keep your discipline on the pitch. And that's what I just felt we had so much of the ball that it was, this is easy. And 3 mistakes later, you're 3-0 down. That's where you have to keep your concentration. Listen, they'll learn from it. But we got to wait another 12 months before we play them at home again. And that can never happen again. That's what's got to live with them in their memories. That will never, ever happen again. And that's what you got to work on. We played really, really well at their stadium. 2-2, played really, really well. You're talking about Maddison. Madison's gone from getting the ball in the number 10 position to getting it off the back 2. We don't want him to get the ball there. Get him back up the front, off the centre forward, and he can play those little balls through. He's going, because he's not getting the balls from other people. That's what's happening. We got to talk about the referee as well. The referee was an absolute disgrace. We've had him for 2 derbies this year, Chelsea and Arsenal. And you tell me he should be brought up in front of the PGMOL, whatever it is, for not giving a penalty. He was 3 yards away. I sat the opposite end of the ground in a box, in the wishes box with the disabled people and people like that. I even saw what he did. In my eye, I've got glasses. How he never saw it, I don't know. So because he's one of the big I ams, they won't punish him. There was a referee got punished the other day. He had to go and referee in the championship. Send him to the championship. Send him. You mucked up. Get out. Get in the championship. But they won't do it because he's going to the Euros and people. That's the problem. There's your problem. We have referees who are, I say now, from whenever I play, they're second rate now. They're not good enough to referee. We got to have them. I understand. But they're not refereeing games. They're letting VAR referee them. It's ruining football. It's ruining football at the moment.
I think that's the thing, though. Like you say, I think it's not necessarily the ref in the game. They're relying so heavily on VAR. They're like, if I don't see it, it doesn't matter because VAR will pick it up. But that shouldn't be how you ref a game. And like Graham said, Billy, I mean, we could talk about how poor the refereeing is till the cows come home. And I know we're not fully to blame because we obviously did let in 2 stupid corners.
Yeah, stupid goals. Yeah.
But it doesn't help, does it, Billy? Like you said earlier with VAR, you can't celebrate goals anymore. You don't have any faith in the refs either.
Nah, and it's a stupid way that we do it in this country, where we're the only country that does like the VAR, outsource it somewhere else, and they do it in a van or whatever. Like everyone else just does it in the stadium. Do you know what I mean? It's a weird system, and then you've got like the people that are in the van are too scared to tell Michael Oliver that that's a penalty on Kulusevski, and then seconds later they go 2-0 up, and otherwise it would have been 1-1. And like these decisions, like, they're happening all the time.
Just 1 minute, Billy. I've read online in somewhere today. Somebody in America, they heard that the VAR told Oliver to go and look at the screen for Kulusevski, and he went, "I'm not going."
Yeah, I think it was Robbie Earl on America.
Robbie Earl.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, he spoke about it.
Hold on, what's happening there? You've been told. So Romero gave a penalty away against Chelsea.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he could have said, no, I didn't think it was a penalty. I'm not going to watch it. So, they make the rules up as they go along. It's just absolutely pathetic. Sorry, Billy. Sorry.
No. Yeah, I was going to come on to the same thing. And like, remember Mike Dean when he retired? Yeah. He said he was once scared to give a penalty because he didn't want to make his mate look bad. And like, this is the culture that these people have. Like, they're all obsessed with like trying to protect each other. And if you watch the interviews on Sky as well, like Dermot Gallagher, whatever his name is, like defending this decision, they all just cover each other's back. They just cover each other's back. They're all interested in self-serving. It's pathetic. And you know what? This year I watched the African Cup of Nations, and the officiating in that tournament was unbelievable. It was so quick. It was like not a single error. It's possible. Same when you watch the Champions League, you watch the World Cup. These things don't happen anywhere else, do they? It only happens in this country. And yeah, it's shambolic, man. And I see someone in the chat put that Sweden has got rid of VAR. And I'd love us to do the same.
Yeah, I think so. So it has to happen, and I hope it does. And I know that we'd all say, well, if it was taken away, it wouldn't be this, but it's not. It's taken away the love of the sport for lots of fans at the minute. Like you said, Billy, earlier, that you can't really celebrate a goal anymore if you're in the stadium. It's just mental. Obviously that kind of concludes obviously the Arsenal game, but we do have another London derby to talk about. Billy, I'm going to come to you first. How are you feeling going to the Bridge? Obviously, we need that bounce back ASAP.
Oh man, it's a tough one, isn't it, man? You know, we have a terrible record there in general. We've won once in there in my lifetime, I think. Dele Alli. But Chelsea, you never know what you're going to get with Chelsea. But I can guarantee you right now that they're going to turn up on Thursday. I just know that they will because it's their game of the season. Poch is going to obviously be wanting to win, and he'll be celebrating. And you know, he snaked us. So I have no clue where it's going to go. If we play our game and we don't cut out these silly mistakes, we can easily hammer these Chelsea. They're useless. Like Arsenal just beat them 5-0, didn't they? So it's definitely doable, but I don't know. I can just imagine a situation where Chelsea, this is their game of the season, they're going to turn up, they're going to turn us over, and you know, same as always, set pieces, learning from our mistakes. And if you think about that Newcastle goal, the one that Isaac scored where he ran through is basically quite similar to the one that Saka scored. It's so easy for teams to just ball over the top, bang, Jackson. You can just imagine it now, can't you? Jackson running through on goal. Hopefully I'll miss. But you know, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it at the moment.
No, it's
especially after yesterday. It's so deflated. I don't know what's going to happen.
Billy, we need to pump you up, mate. Come on.
We do. Come on.
We need to get you. Come on.
I'll tell you what will help that is if I think about how much I hate Mauricio Pochettino. That will help. Do that.
But that's the thing. It's another one in terms. It's going to be a game that these players need to get fired up for, don't they, Graham? Because it's them lot. It's at the Bridge. It's got to be done, surely.
Listen, everybody hates Tottenham. We all know that. So they have one cup final each team, or two cup finals each year. Tottenham Hotspur, Chelsea. Tottenham Hotspur, West Ham. Tottenham Hotspur, Arsenal. That's their cup finals. We haven't done very good in them. That's the problem. So, you know, we have to start getting ourselves where people sort of understand that the derbies, you know, it's very hard to win the league, and even harder for a London club to win the league because you've got so many derbies. So, yeah, we need to be up for it. It's going to be, listen, I watched them play Aston Villa, and they should have beat Aston Villa. They had a great goal disallowed. All right, it was probably a little push or something. But you've got to, you know, we have to go there and we have to be solid. We have to be hard. You know, and if we don't, we're going to get turned over again.
And we can't do against Pochettino. And especially with how mad they've been this season in terms of being all over the gaff. It has to be something. He's back. It has to be.
You went to get your Arsenal shirt.
Don't, please, don't start them off, Graham. They're in the chat. They're watching.
Are they? Listen, would they be watching us tonight?
Yeah, they're watching. Some of them, I've seen some of them already in the chat.
Okay, listen, you need us. You need us to do you a favour, and you've got no bloody chance.
Yes, Graham.
I want us to give us some of our youngsters a game now.
100%.
From now to the end of the season to see if they're any good for next season.
I think you should play against Man City, mate.
the likes of Donnelly and all that.
I think
I
think you should play against Man City.
Yeah.
I think you should play against Man City.
Yeah, like no, we'll probably win if I play. That's the problem. But no, listen, Patrick, you'll be getting messages. Oh, come on, Patrick, you can do us a favour.
I know, literally.
You'll be getting it all. And just say bugger off. That's all you gotta say.
It's never happening, man. Whatever the goal difference is, we'll gladly give them that. So if they're down by +3 or
they
+4,
won't lose a game, Man City.
Yeah.
And then we got 10 red bottles bottling it again.
Oh, I love it. But before we go, I want to get Patrick's thoughts on obviously the Chelsea game coming up. How do you kind of see it going down? Because they have been all over the gaff, to say the least, but they are playing us.
Yeah, I mean, they're a weird one because to be fair to Chelsea, against Aston Villa, they were really good, especially in the second half. They actually bossed that game. They were a better team, but they're a weird one. They've not been good for most of the season, but rest assured, Poch will be up there, G and the players are up, and they'll want to turn up against us. So, yeah, I mean, I can't call it. Again, with us as well, on our day, we can be fantastic, but we can also be really poor, give away goals, defensive lapses, and really just not show any fight like we did against Fulham away, Newcastle away. This is another away game. So dare I say, I just can't call it. I just hope that we show some sort of pride and desire, especially, I mean, we've lost 2 in a row now, so we need to actually show some sort of effort and fight. And it'll be interesting to see what midfield 3 he goes with.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, now none of us know our best midfield 3. Before we knew exactly who was there and what's what. I'm as confused as Ange is right now, so that will be interesting. The front line picks itself, the back line picks itself. I say picks itself in terms of the front line, the strike force. We all want Richarlison down the middle. Will Ange be brave enough to do that?
He's got to.
Yeah, he has to, man, in that game. And I mean, we played the last game. It was such a weird one because we actually played really well to begin with against Chelsea. Obviously, we went down to 9 men. We also had 2 players get injured and literally missed a third of the season. So it was essentially four players swing in one game. That's unheard of. That never happened. So we owe them one. When Nicholas Jackson scoring a hat-trick against you, it's bad times because he's absolutely fresh. So yeah, I just hope the guys remember that and actually turn up. Yeah.
I'm not going to this fixture, so I won't jinx us this time because I was there. It was my first game watching Ange, that Chelsea one, so I definitely jinxed it. But before we go, I just want to bring this up to Billy because Terry's made a great point. Do you think that Maddison needs to be benched for a game or 2 and maybe start the Celso?
Yep, definitely. Definitely for Chelsea anyway. Probably start and probably then Liverpool, but yeah, definitely, man, because he's badly out of form, and the Celso, when he comes on, he looks a lot brighter. So yeah, I'll definitely do it for the Chelsea game, but I doubt. You might want to play Kulusevski 10 maybe, but one of the 2. I think Maddison's got to drop to the bench for this game.
I would play Kulusevski.
Yeah,
definitely.
One of the 2 of them.
Give him a free roll.
Yeah.
I would play 2 holding midfield players there to start off with. Maybe Bissouma, because I thought he did all right when he came on. Sometimes they need a kick up the backside. They need a kick up the backside to say, come on, you ain't done what you did early in the season. I think Papa Sarr is a good player, got lots of energy, runs around, he's a niggly. Can he play that role? Because we play the 2 fullbacks coming in as well and going forward, you got to have the 2 holding midfield players to fill in from. So yeah, you're right, Billy. I don't think he knows his best midfield. I don't think he knows it, and he's got to make them decisions now.
No, it's definitely crunch time, and that's the thing. We've lost the North London derby. We can't lose another London derby, especially in the way they did us at home with like Patrick said, the 4 player swing in one game. Like, it's ridiculous. So we need a bit of a revenge in this kind of fixture, especially being at the Bridge as well. But you know what? It's been amazing to dissect obviously the North London derby with you guys, as depressing as it was at some points, but it's good to talk it out. So we'll go around the table and say our goodbyes. So first of all, Billy, thank you again for joining us tonight. Where can everybody find you?
Just Billie T on Twitter, and I just want to say the last 2 words, which is Blue Moon. Come on.
Love it. And also, Graham, it's a pleasure to have you on. It's amazing to have obviously your insight being a player yourself. So where can everybody find you these days?
Nobody can find me anywhere. I don't want any of them gooners getting in touch with me. All right? So I'm not giving you anything.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
And we will win on Thursday. Yeah.
Let's go.
We've heard it there first from the Graham himself. But no, honestly, it's been amazing to have you on, Graham.
Pleasure.
And Patrick as well. Where can everybody find you as well?
It should be at the bottom of the screen. I don't know if you can see it now because I came in and came out, but Patrick Tyrant. So Patrick spelled the normal way, P-A-T-R-I-C-K, and then Tyrant, T-Y-R-A-N-T. That's Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Yeah, that's it. That's me. I just want to say it was a really good show. Really good show.
Yes.
I was feeling down in the dumps, especially being around all the Arsenal fans today and hearing everything. But it was good to jump on with you guys and just chop it up and kind of get my spirits back to where they should be.
No,
Always give me a call, Patrick. Archie.
Yeah, I will do, man. I'm going to hit you up. I will. I need it.
Don't give it to your gooner mates. Don't give
Nah, no way. No way.
But
It's
again,
annoying.
as like always
No,
as well, thank you
I-
to everybody in the chat. Sorry, Patrick, you were talking.
No worries. I was just gonna say because I obviously put a tweet out saying live right now, jump in and follow us or like come in and they've all jumped on it to like
Okay.
you know,
Lovely.
yeah. So it's
Lovely
okay.
to see you all. Hey. You need
Oh, dear.
us. You need us.
Oh dear, but no, talking about obviously people watching. Thank you to everybody that's tuned in tonight. The regulars, everybody that's going to rewatch this back or listen to it in your ear rolls. I do really appreciate it. And like I say, we may be back Wednesday. I might be taking a little bit of a break, but if not, we'll definitely be back for next Monday for Hollie's Hotspurs Live. So make sure you can tune in for that one. And until next time, how about you, Spurs?